how exciting. I feel like I haven't done any live sewing for a little while in December, so I'm really excited to be here for my Wednesday live sewing with you lovely guys. I will hang on a minute and hopefully some people will come on and join me. It is, I think, pretty much 7:30. So hopefully some people will come on and join me tonight. Say hello if you come on live. I'm armed here with my cup of tea and all my essentials. Let me see, let me just move. I've got something at the bottom of my screen here. What's this? Oh, I don't know what that is. Oh, hello Elaine. I've just got a new little thing at the bottom of my screen. Let me just check out what that is. Hang on a minute. Oh, it's not going to load. No. Okay, I won't play just in case I mess it all up. Hello, whoever's watching. Hope you guys are okay. How's everybody's Christmases been? Are we all back and raring to go in work and in life? It's a bit chaotic at Christmas, I find. It's really fun. I love it. But I chill out so much that it's then really hard to get back in the swing of it. Hi, Carrie! Yeah, it's really hard to get back in the swing of things, I find. Hello, Anna! Ah, lovely. Has everybody like kicked their kids into bed? Who's got kids, that is. I've left mine down with Daddy, so that's always good. I'll wait and see if a few more people come on. There's a few people on. Say hello, guys, when you come on live. Grab your cup of tea if you need it. So we're going to do something really, really simple tonight. We're just going to get us back into the sewing mojo and to get that motivation going, because I don't know, like I said, I don't know about you guys, but I feel really sluggish after Christmas. I cannot fall asleep. I can't wake up in the morning. I feel like I still should be watching Christmas movies. So I need to kick myself to start going again, really. So hi, Debbie, Monica. So I don't know about you guys, but it's been really tough. So I thought we'll start with something really simple. And before you lovely ladies go and get rid of all your scraps, hunt through them first and get your scraps out to make this fab little pin cushion that we're going to make tonight. So we're going to make a pin cushion, a patchwork one, using all our stash, all of our scraps that we've got hanging about before we get rid of them. And perfect to have with maybe you've got a new sewing machine, so perfect to have with your machine, or maybe make some for your friends and family or whatever you want to do. If you've got any keen sewers in the family that want to start. Who else have we got? Hello, Catherine. Oh, lots of lovely ladies on. What's Debbie said? Let's have a look. Totally not had a chance to sew. I know. I can't believe we're already a week in. It's crazy. Time flies by so quickly. Hello, Dawn. Oh, this is fab. There's loads of you. It's exciting. So first of all, what I'm going to do is just introduce myself, because we've got quite a few new people in the group. So if there's anyone that comes on and watches on replay, who's new or comes on live this evening, just so you kind of get an idea of what the group is all about and what the live sewings are all about. So welcome to Lucy's social sewing community. So this is my social sewing community where we can share what we're making, where we can encourage each other. If there's any amazing offers that we need to tell each other. So if you've seen something that, I don't know, some amazing fabric that's on offer, or a great pattern that you've made and you want to tell everyone about it, this is the place to put it. So put it on the post, post it on the page, whatever it is to do with sewing. Make sure that we're positive and we're supporting people. So when people put up pictures of what they've made, make sure that we're giving them a thumbs up and a heart, and say if you love it, then tell them, because it motivates people to get on and do some more sewing. And it's just a really supportive, nice thing to do. So that's kind of what I want from the group. We've got a little schedule that I've put that's tagged, I believe, to the top of the page, and it gives you an idea of what you might see in the group from me every week. So for instance, on a Monday, I'm going to come on and do something to motivate you. So that might just be a quote or a funny post, or I might nip on Monday morning and say, hello, it's me, and what are we sewing? So just something really to get you going for the week ahead. It's Monday after all. Tuesday, I've got to remind myself now, I've got to remember what's new on there. Tuesday is what we're making, our work in progress, our hashtag WIP, so our work in progress. So on that post, thank you so much everybody who posted this week of what you're making or what you're planning to make. That is to find out what everybody has got on their planners to make, what they're halfway through, what they want to get finished, what they want inspiration for. Maybe you've bought some fabric and you want to find a pattern. Put it on that work in progress. Put it on the Tuesday post, and then we can all jump in and encourage you and give you ideas and things. That's what that post is for on a Tuesday. So feel free to share pictures. I love pictures. I love to see what you're making. I love to see the fabrics you've bought, everything like that. So post pictures. I love that. Wednesday is live day, so I've changed that. Last year it was on a Tuesday. I hadn't done any through December because I was just super busy doing my own sewing, but that's going to be on a Wednesday now, normally in the evening, to try and catch all you lovely guys. But I may, depending on if something happens, say, I don't know, yeah, an annoying parents' evening or something, you know, something like that I can't control, I might move it to the daytime. But I will let you know before the Wednesday when I'm going to be coming on live. And the live sessions, what they are, is they're just really a social for us to get together, for me to come on and say hello, and I will sew something really simple to inspire and motivate you all. So we're not going to be having a massive sewing class going on a Wednesday. It's just really to bring you inspiration and just for us to sort of hang out really, and me to talk, because I work on my own quite a lot, so I like to talk. So that's what the Wednesday sew is all about. And then what I also love to see after the Wednesday sewing session is you having a go at what I've made and sharing your pictures, of course. So whatever I make on that day, you can re-watch this video as many times as you like. It's saved on the page. And if you want to see past videos, if you go to the, I think it's photos along the top bar, if you're on your mobile, and you can flick through all the photos, and the photos that have a little arrow on, a little triangle, a play button, you can re-watch. So you can watch all the old ones that I've done in the past and have a go at. So I love to see you having a go and posting your pictures. So that's Wednesday. Oh God, I remember now. Oh, pressure. Thursday. What was Thursday? I don't think there was anything. Oh no, Thursday is my sewing A to Z, which I'm very excited about. So tomorrow it's going to be A for the alphabet, and it's going to be sewing related, and it's just really little sort of how-tos, maybe tips, maybe sewing, you know, essentials, or apparatus you might use, your machine, whatever it is. It'll be an A to Z, and it'll tell you a little bit about whatever I choose for that particular letter, and that will be on a Thursday. And then Friday, I wanted to keep, because I love it, is our Friday finds. So if you've been in the group a while, you'll know that Friday is when you hop on. I'll pop a post up in the morning, hopefully if I remember first thing, and you could put on there everything you found from the week. So anything we all need to know. So incredible sales, again, amazing patterns, a new fabric shop somewhere, someone's got a sale on, whatever it is, we need to know it. That goes on the Friday finds. And then anyway, any time through the week, you could post other sewing related things, questions or things you're making, because I love to see them all. Let's see who else is on. Hello Jess, and Joe is on. Hello Joe, Leslie, Joanne. Hello everyone. Right, so tonight we're making a little pin cushion. Super easy, a little bit of patchwork to sort of jazz it up a little bit as well, and then you can obviously add any of your own decoration to it also. You could add like a little bit, a little tag on the side maybe to hang it up, a little button on the top, you know, whatever you decide to do. So that's what we're going to be making tonight. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Oh, excuse me, I wipe my nose. Let me take my cardi off. It's getting warm in here now, getting the excitement's rising. So this is what you're going to need. You're going to need some scraps of fabric. So first of all, we're going to make a circular pin cushion. So you want to cut yourself a template for your pin cushion. I've used a cereal bowl as my template. So I've just literally drawn around my cereal bowl on a piece of paper, whatever you've got. It doesn't have to be anything special. I've just used printer paper and I've cut that out, and that's my circle. So just for anyone that wants to know, that circle is 6 inches across. So the diameter is 6 inches, which is 15 centimetres. So that's my circle, my cereal bowl circle. Once you've done that and cut it out, you then want to also cut yourself a little square. So your square should be about 1 centimetre all the way around bigger than your circle. So you want to get yourself again a piece of paper, put your circle down in the corner of that paper 1 centimetre in, and then sort of mark at the top and the side, draw the rest of your square and then cut it out. And then once you've done that, you want to fold your square in half and fold your square in half again, and that's your quarter, and that's what we're going to make our little patchwork squares out of for the top of our pin cushion. The bottom of our pin cushion is going to have a hole in there, and that's how we're going to fill it underneath. So I'll show you how to do that in a moment. So once you've got your pattern pieces, you then want to find some fabric that's going to fit those pattern pieces. So for the underneath, I thought it's probably best to have something maybe a bit thicker. So I've chose a piece of my cotton canvasy fabrics that I love to use in my sewing workshops if you come and visit me. So I've got a nice blue spotty bit here, a little offcut, and that needs to be big enough to sit your circle in with sort of a gap all the way around. We're going to do another seam allowance all the way around there. So you need to have that big enough for that. So that's my underneath. And then you want to raid your scraps. So as always, if you've watched me sew before or you've been to one of my sewing workshops, I like to choose random fabrics that I like. I tend to not go for things that match, particularly when I'm sewing with you guys, because I want you to see that it doesn't matter what you use. You can use any colour and combination and it always looks fabulous. So again, I've done that today, obviously. I've gone for all things that I like out of my scrap bucket. So I've got this really cute pastel colour chevron fabric there. So this fabric needs to be able to fit your little squares in. So you need to make sure you've got room to fit those little squares in with a bit of a seam allowance around. And we're going to do 8 of these little squares. So I've chosen 4 fabrics. I'm going to do 2 of each. Oh, we got some more people. Hi, Kate. Oh, watching for the first time. Hello. If you've just joined, I gave a little introduction, so you might want to go back afterwards and just re-watch the start. But welcome. And we got Vicky. Hiya, Vicky. So yeah, sorry, I always do this, start talking in between. So your little square needs to fit in the middle. We need 8 of these. I've chose 4 fabrics, going to do 2 of each fabric. So I need to make sure I can get 2 of those squares out of each bit, which I can. If I fold that in half, I can fit my square in the middle. So I've got that one. I found this one in my lovely stash bucket. Forgot I had this. So I'm going to be using some of that, and it just about fits my little square. So I've got 2 bits of that. Unicorns, of course, because we love unicorns in our house. Hello, Faye. So I'm going to be using some unicorns. Again, I can fit 2 onto there. And then I found this little bit of floral to go with it as well. Again, I've got 2 bits I can fit on there, and I've pressed all of that, so it's all nice and flat and pressed. Hello, Charmaine. So that's what we're going to need. So I've got 4 pieces that I can fit 2 little squares out of each. You can go for it. I know you'll be surprised that you would think that I would go for 8 different fabrics, but I haven't today. I've gone for the 4, and I'm going to do 2 and 2. But you could do 8 pieces of fabric, so you'd need 8 squares, all different if you wanted to. It's entirely up to you. So you have a completely, that would make like a rainbow effect if you chose all different colours. That would look pretty cool. So that's what you're going to need. So then we want to cut our pieces out. So let me find my pattern pieces. So who got sewing stuff for Christmas? Let me know in the comments if you've got some sewing goodies for Christmas. I'm just going to have a slurp of my tea. Let me know what you got. Did anyone get a new sewing machine maybe? I'm just pointing, you can't see my machine. There's my machine. Did anyone get a new sewing machine? That would be amazing. We'll have to do like a Zoom session soon. If you've done my online sewing course last time, which I know some of you have, which is coming around again soon actually, it restarts in March, so the enrolment is open. We do the sewing sessions like this on what we call a Zoom webinar. So I send you a link when you join the course, and you link in, and it comes up on your computer, and you can see us all, everyone else on the course, and me of course, because you're following me. On this Zoom. It's really awesome. You can see everybody sewing. It completely looks like you're in a sewing workshop with them all. It's really cool. So that is open at the moment. So if you're interested, you need to get your tickets and get your space for that. But yeah, that's exciting. Who have we got? I've got Sylvie. Got a light box. Oh, cool. What, to take photos, Sylvie? I want one of those. I bought one ages ago, but it wasn't very good, and I broke it. What's Anna got? Rainbow overlock thread. Well done. Who bought you that? Was it your husband? That was very impressive if it was. That's pretty cool. Can't wait to see what you make with your rainbow thread. I know some of the other ladies have got rainbow thread already, actually. That's really cool. Yeah, share your ideas. Did anyone get any sewing books actually? I'd really like to get a new sewing book with some nice projects in. So if you've got a sewing book, let me know. Right, here we go. I'm going to cut out there. Let me just move my camera. Oh, somewhere where you can maybe see what I'm doing. Can you see what I'm doing? Can you see it? Oh, I can't see. Oh, there it is. My light's on it. So I'm going to now cut out my template. So first of all, I'm going to do my circle on my bottom piece. Now we're going to cut this in 2 halves because we're going to have an opening. So actually what we need to do is fold our circle in half. So we've got half circle. And then we're going to cut one out first and then the other. And we want to leave a good sort of 2 centimetres here because we're going to leave a little gap in the middle. So that'll be our seam allowance. So leave plenty of room for yourself. So I'm going to do that first. So let me get some pins. And then leave a little bit of a seam allowance all the way around the outside as well. So 1 centimetre is fine. I want 2 of those. Do you know what, actually, I'm going to just cut these together at the same time. There we go. So hopefully everyone did enjoy a lovely Christmas. Who else have we got? Oh, hello, Danielle. What was that, your brother-in-law? Oh, you asked for it. I was going to say, that is random. Random present from your brother-in-law. Rainbow thread. Well done him for listening, though. So, yes, hopefully everybody enjoyed a nice, restful Christmas. Probably eaten too much, maybe. I drank too much. I never drink. I hardly ever drink unless I'm on a night out and then I go a bit crazy. But over Christmas, I did lots. It was good, actually. I enjoyed it. I never drink at home. So I'm just cutting around my half moon or half semicircle now. So there we go. I'll just give you an idea. So I've got, well, actually, I haven't cut 2 centimetres, but I'm 1.5 centimetres this side, then 1 centimetre all around the curvy bit. Who have we got? Kate, not getting on very well with my battery. Just like, oh no! Go find your charger, Kate. Catherine, hello Catherine. What we're making tonight, we're making a little patchwork pin cushion just to get us back into it, nice and simple. We can use it with our sewing to get us going and inspire us to get our pins out and start making something. So that's what we're making tonight, Catherine. Hello Danielle. Just popping on, you couldn't resist. Very good. So I've cut 2 of those out already. I just folded my fabric in and cut the 2 straight away. So there we have it. If I open that up, there's the 2 halves, okay? So don't cut that as one circle because we want to have the seam allowance in the middle of that circle. So if you cut it as one circle, you want it to be sort of a funny shape almost, and that's why I've done it in 2 halves. So fold it in half, cut the 2 semicircles. That's what you need for the bottom. So that's your bottom. And then we want to do our patchwork squares for the top. So 2 little squares of each fabric, or 8 if you're having all different fabrics. So I'm doing 4 fabrics. I'm doing 2 of each. So I'm going to cut these out. I love this rainbow fabric. I have no idea what I used this for in the past. I have no idea. I didn't even know I had it. This is a good thing about a stash bucket. You can have a little rummage and see what you've got. So I'm going to leave a seam allowance around these little squares as well. So you can pin this pattern on again if you wanted to, but I'm just going for it. It doesn't have to be dead. Well, if it's dead neat, it's going to be much tidier than mine. But as I'm on live video, don't want to keep you here all blooming night, do I? So there we are. I've left a seam allowance around that. So I've got 2 of those ones. That's the 2 rainbowy ones. I'm going to actually get rid of those scraps now and not put them back in my scrap bucket. 2 of me floral ones. So I'm going to use the piece that I've already cut as my template now. So I've got the same seam allowance for all the other pieces. So I'm using this piece that I've already cut now as my template. And that just keeps the same seam allowance for them all. Because obviously when you're doing patchwork, you do want it to come out quite even. If you've got a rotary cutter, that would be really helpful for cutting this type of thing. Nice and easy. Let me know if you've got a rotary cutter for Christmas. That would be cool. Unicorns. So what else is coming up for us on the sewing community? So I've got loads of new ideas for the new year. So our new schedule, obviously, that I said that was pinned to the top of the page here, so you can see what's going to be happening each week. as the days go by. But also I got a few challenges coming up as well. If you were part of the community last year, last summer we did a challenge within the community space, and it was loads of fun. I had loads of interaction. It was really, really good. It wasn't loads of major sewing. It was more about inspiration, finding ideas and that sort of thing. But it was really, really good fun. So I've got some more challenges coming up this year as well. What to do one in February, so really, really soon. And then also in March, I've got a little social media challenge coming up, which I'd love you ladies to get involved in. That is a sewing one, a dressmaking sewing one, you'll be pleased to know. So keep your eyes open for that. That's in March. And then I've got some more coming up through the year as well. So loads of ideas and loads happening. So I just want to get on here and be really visual with you all and really help you get motivated to get sewing this year. And hopefully Carrie, I think Carrie hopefully is still on here. Carrie and I done a fabric swap last year, which was really fun, where you just brought along your fabrics and sewing bits and pieces, and you swapped it for something new. So again, don't get rid of all your scraps, keep some of them, and we're going to hopefully do some more of those this year as well. So that's always a good way to, you know, maybe you've bought a fabric in the past you don't like anymore, you can swap it for someone else. Who else we got? Hello Michelle, just checking. Happy New Year. Yes, Happy New Year to you, lovely. So I've got all my pieces cut out now. So that was my little quarter. So that was my big template folded into 4. That was my circle folded in half. So I've got 2 of those. Like that maybe. Those cut, and then I got 8 of the little squares to make my patchwork. So now we're going to put these squares together. So let me just have a think. I don't want them to go next to each other, I don't think. I think I'm going to mix them all up maybe, so that I have alternate colours going around. So there's going to be like 8 little sections. Let's have a look. So if I put the floral maybe with the rainbows. So what we want to do now is pair up our little squares that we've cut out. So you want to choose 2 squares to go with each other. So I'm going to choose this rainbow and the florals. And you're going to put those right sides facing together, like so. I'm going to pop a pin through there, just to hold it in place a moment. And then I'm going to put maybe unicorns and chevrons. I'm going to put those together. It doesn't overly matter at this point what way around the pattern is. Maybe if you've got 2 patterned pieces like the rainbows and the unicorn, maybe put them the same way up together, if you see what I mean. What else should I have? So maybe if I have, yeah, unicorns and rainbows and chevrons and floral. So I've put them all together right sides facing. So now I've got 4 little squares doubled up with their little partners. So I've now got this one, this one, this one, and this one. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab my ruler, in fact, and a pencil. Let me just find a pencil or a tailor's chalk or something. Oh, I've got a new pen here actually. I've got a new pen. Didn't get anything else sewing related for Christmas, but I've got a new pen. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab one of my little bundles of the 2 squares, and I'm going to draw a line from one corner to the other, so straight down the middle to cut it in half as such. So let's take my pin back out for a minute, make sure they're on top of each other. So I'm lining my ruler up right across the centre of my 2 pieces of fabric, across my square, and then I'm just going to draw a line across. So either using a normal pencil, a tailor's pencil, you know, or a tailor's pen, whatever you've got to hand. You're not going to see that line, it's going to be inside, so don't panic. There you are. So I've drawn a line, can you see that? All the way down the middle from corner to corner. I'm going to put my pin back in on one of the sides to hold it all together. Make sure your squares are lined up so it's nice and neat, she says, as she sticks her pin back in. So sort of line your squares up as best you can. You could trim them now a little bit if you wanted to. Okay, and I'm going to do that with all of my little pieces. Just draw the line down the middle and put my pin back in. has it been super cold where everyone is today? Have we got anyone that's where are you guys? Where are you guys? Where are you? I know some of you are near me, but there's some of you that aren't. It's been so cold down here this afternoon. It's got colder as the day has gone on. I was freezing when I done the school run this afternoon. Has anyone, nobody's had any snow or anything, have they, anywhere up north or anything that we know of? Yet. Hello, Jade. Ah, Catherine Weston, super cool. Is it cold there? It's freezing down here, freezing. Probably is actually down there, isn't it? By the sea. By the seaside. Right, so I'm just doing my corner to corner. So you almost, if you've got a darker piece of fabric on one side, draw your line on the light piece of fabric. Again, it doesn't matter which side you draw the line. So I've got a line down the centre of that one from one point to the other, and that one, and that one. So there's my 4 little parcels with my line down the middle. We could pin our other bit together ready as well to sew. So our circular piece, so our 2 half moon pieces or 2 half circles. What else have we got? Leslie, it's cold up north today. No snow, just cold and icy. Leicester, no snow, but cold, cold. No snow, no. Norfolk, it's cold. Oh, it's cold everywhere then pretty much. Oh, come on, spring's on its way. I don't know about you guys, but I don't like snow because I suffer in the cold. I do. I've got bad circulation. I get super cold. I've got my heater right at my feet right now, keeping me warm. So I'm not very good in the cold weather. So even though the kids love the snow, I cannot cope with it at all. I am certainly a summer girl. So roll on the spring. Where are you, Michelle? Crewe in Cheshire. It's freezing, literally cold. Oh my God, I know. I haven't ventured out to see our car, but I can imagine it's probably frosty here already actually as well. It is cold. Right, moving you down now because I'm going to move on to the sewing machine. Oh, let's have another little quick read. Hang on, Anna. I'm finding my extra holiday weight from Christmas is keeping me warm. Oh, I love you. Always have a good joke to come out with, Anna. Bless you. I bet you haven't got too much winter fat. I'm sure you haven't, in fact. No. Especially not now you've cleaned all your house. You've probably lost all of that weight anyway. All that exercise. Right, so now I'm going to do my bit of sewing for you guys. So I've just got a white thread in. I'm pointing to it, but you can't see it. A white thread in. You're not going to see the thread, but you obviously don't want to have a black one, for instance, if you're sewing on white, because you might just see it in the seams there. So choose a nice neutral thread. And I'm going to get sewing. So I'm going to do the bottom bit first, and on this bit we want to leave a gap in the middle to fill our pin cushion up. So you're probably going to want to leave a good gap because I'm going to put rice in mine and some stuffing, but you could put whatever you want in your pin cushion. Some people like to use the what's it called, like the scouring pads, because it sharpens your pins when it's in there. I just haven't got any of that, so I'm not doing that. So I'm going to leave about a 2.5 inch gap on that middle bit. So on the straight bit of my circular piece, I've got right sides facing again. Down here I'm going to leave a gap in the middle, so I'm just going to sew from the top down and then stop, and then from this bit down to the end, hole in the middle. And I'm just leaving a 1 centimetre seam allowance, so all I'm doing is following the edge of my sewing machine foot, nothing more. It doesn't have to be perfectly exact, because we're going to cut the patchwork bits to match this piece that we're sewing now. So don't panic too much. So my new machine is really noisy, so I apologise. It's probably going to be really noisy now. Let's have a look. So here we go. So no one's told me that they got a new sewing machine oh, for Christmas. Let me know. I think that hot air's getting too hot now. I've just breathed it in. I can hardly breathe from my heater. So that's my first little bit done. Have a sip of my tea. God forbid I couldn't talk anymore. Crumbs. So left my little gap. Sewing right down to the end. So I'll just show you what I've done. So now when I open up that circle, I'm going to cut my threads off in a minute. you've then got a gap in the middle to put your rice in. Okay, can you see? And we're going to press that seam nice and flat behind it so it lays nice and flat, and then hopefully you're going to have your circle shape there again. Okay, so that's the first bit done. I'm going to put that aside. That's the easiest bit. And then we're going to do our little patchwork pieces. My nose is running, that's because it's cold. So next we're going to sew down our little patchwork squares. So just where we've drawn that line down the middle, that's what we're going to sew. We're just going to follow that line straight down the centre. So I'm just using the same white thread again, all the way down. So I put my pin in there far enough away from that line so I could leave it where it was while I was sewing, so I didn't need to move it. Okay, so that pin just held it in place. So I've literally sewn all the way down that blue line that I've drawn now, holding the two pieces together there. Okay, so I'm going to take my pin out now. Let me trim all my threads off as I go. Keep it nice and tidy. And I'm going to do that for all of the little squares, the 4 little squares that I've got. All the way down the middle. So these are super easy and quick to do, which is lovely. I love projects like that to get you back in the swing of it. And I also like to make projects that are super practical too, that we can use and share about. So yeah, if you've got any maybe kids that have got sewing machines for Christmas, these would be great little makes for them as well. Maybe you've got some budding sewers in your house. What else have we got on? Oh, I've got some newies on. Hello, Gemma. Who else have we got? Kyla, sorry, hello. Oh, what have we got? Kate, is that a new machine, Kate? First computerised one I've ever had. Yay, how exciting. Missed your last message maybe. Oh yeah, you got one, yay. That's really exciting. How exciting, love it. So have you had a good play, Kate, or not really yet? Have you not ventured onto it yet too much? It's daunting, isn't it, when you first get a new machine? Especially if it's your first machine, and also if it's a replacement one. You get so used to what you use, your existing one, it's daunting to change. So I'm on my 4th little square now, just sewing down the middle. Lots of you on tonight, it's lovely. So that's the 4th little square. There we are, 4 little squares now all sewn down the middle. So now what we're going to do is choose your favourite side, and then we're going to cut off the other side, and that scrap we're going to get rid of. So they should pretty much be the same, but what I'm going to do is just see which one is the closest. So if you look at this one, for instance, this one's got a little bit, the rainbow one's slightly smaller than the unicorn one on that side, whereas this side fits really snug. So I'm going to keep this bit as my main bit, and then I'm literally going to cut the other side of the other one, so leaving a little seam allowance again because I want to press that open. So as you can see, there's my line going down that I've sewn on, and I've just cut the other side of the triangle off, leaving myself a little bit of an allowance. There you are. And you're going to do that with all 4 of your little triangles. So just pick your best side and cut the other side off. 1, 2. It's always the scary bit when you start having to cut bits off. You're like, oh no, are you sure? Don't want it to go wrong. There we go. So I'm going to be really good, and I'm going to chuck away those little scraps because I've got trillions of them. So yes. So you should now have these funny little triangles that you've cut. So if you open them up, you should have your square again, but now with 2 different fabrics, and that's your patchworky piece. So what we're going to do now is I'm just going to turn around, go to my ironing board, and I'm just going to press down all those seams at the back so it's nice and flat. And I'm going to do the same for my circle. I'm going to press that seam down on the back nice and flat. So I'm just going to do that now. Let me move you with me. Come over here. This is my ironing board. It's all very technical. So just going to trim off my threads because we don't want those hanging about. Keep your work nice and neat. That's a top tip. If you don't trim off your threads, the danger is then, one, it's just a nuisance because when you finish, you've got threads everywhere. But two, that could get caught in your machine and cause a big sort of knot when you're sewing, and that's never good. So trim them off as you go. There's that bit pressed down. And I'm going to do the same with my little triangle squares. So open them up, open your seam up at the back that you've trimmed, press that down. Oh, got a thread on me. There we go, that's the first one. So there's my new little square. So they look super pretty now. So you can see, you can kind of work out what pattern you want, if you want a repeating pattern, or whether you're just going to go for it, or if you use 8 fabrics, you can have a lovely, I don't know, rainbow design or whatever you choose. Use your imagination. I've literally just delved into my stash tonight and picked out whatever I fancied. Opening that, have I done that one right? No, I think I had. Open your seam up. There we are, okay. So nice and neat, nice and flat. Last one. Four new little squares. So they look super cute now. These lovely little squares. Hope you can see them all right. The lighting's not very good in here. There we are. I'm going to move you back now. Let me have a look at the comments. So let's have a look what we got. Let's have a look. Kate, it makes everything easier. Takes away the frustration. Been sewing over 40 years, starting on a needle on a what's that? A treadle or then Singer Electrics. Oh wow! Best thing is the thread cutter, no pulling thread out. No, I haven't got that, but yes, some of the ladies that come here have got that. It looks amazing. How exciting! So it's all new for you then, Kate. That's a real treat to have a fancy computerized one. Amazing. So next stage. Have a slurp of my tea. Now we're going to put our 4 little quarters all together to make our big square again. So basically we're going to sew it together so we have our big square again. So this is when you kind of want to arrange, oh, can you see this on your table, where they're going to be. So they're going to go around in a circle, your patchwork. So the middle is going to be a point, and then they're going to all come round like that, if you see what I mean, with the point in the middle. So you kind of want to decide where you want them to fall. So this is probably where I'm going to make it look completely rubbish. Let's have a look. See how I get on. I'm thinking like that. Or maybe I could do... No, I think like that. Right, so I'm going to go... So you want the points in the middle of your design. So make sure that all the points are coming into the middle. So you don't want to have, so can you see where I've joined them together, where I've sewn them together? They're all coming into the middle. So if I turn it round, then I've got a seam going across, which doesn't look so nice when it's finished. So I want them all going into the middle. So I think I'm going to do my design like that. Can you see that? Can you see what I've done there? So all my sewn lines are going in to that centre point, and then what I'm going to do is sew them gradually all together. So I'm going to sew this one to this one. So if I fold this one over, I'm going to sew down here first, fold this one over and sew down here, and then I'm going to open them back up and sew along the main piece. So let's do that. So trying to remember where you kept them all. So keep it sort of laid out where you want it. Make sure you line them up nice and neat again. You want those points joining in the middle. Remember which side you're sewing down. And all I'm doing again now is I'm just sewing with my foot on the edge of my fabric. Give me about a 1 centimetre seam allowance all the way down. It's worth relaying it out just to double check your design at this point. Scissors, I've got 1,000 different pairs of scissors with me today. So that was going there, I think. So this one, so make sure your squares all line up. You can pop a pin in it, of course, if you want to, or a fabric clip to hold it in place. I am, as I call it, winging it. Did anyone get any new sewing gadgets for Christmas? Is there anything new on the market we haven't seen before that anyone got for Christmas? Let us know. Let's see who else is saying on here. Oh, Gemma, your kids still up. Oh, bless them. Yeah, to be fair, mine are. I've just left them in the house with the husband. I get away with that. Right, so I've now sewn down the 2 sides, keeping the points all in the middle still. Show you. So I've sewn down that side, sewn down this side, so the points are still coming back to the middle. So now I'm going to lay them on top of each other and sew along this bottom bit. What I'm going to do is just iron open these seams again here so it's nice and flat before I sew along the bottom. So on that piece and on this other piece where I've just sewn it together. So I'm just going to do that first to keep it nice and neat. So with patchwork you want to make sure you're always ironing your seams open. Helps the patchwork lay really flat underneath and keeps it much easier to sew it all together. You start to get quite a lot of fabric sort of bulking up, so you want to keep it nice and flat. It's much easier then. You don't want sort of, you know, bits going across. You can have a nice flatter surface. So let me just remind myself, point. So we're sewing along the bit where they all come up to the point. That's the bit we're sewing along. So line these up. I'm going to make sure this point is lined up in the middle as well, most importantly. So I'm going to pop a fabric clip on there, in fact, to hold that in place. So I want all those pointy bits there to be matched up, and then I'm going to make sure the rest is fairly matched up as well. Okay, and then I'm going to sew across. I might just pop a little clip the other side where it meets, where the 2 seams meet, to make sure it's equal as well. The same, laying in the same place. There we go. And then same again, 1 centimetre all the way across. And that will turn it back into a big square then. There we go. So trim it all off, take my clips out. Ta-da! So then you should be left with a nice big square now, all the points going into the middle, some sort of maybe pattern arrangement going on, mine not really, but yeah, hopefully you guys have. And I'm just going to press open now that seam that I've just sewn so it's nice and flat all the way down that back seam. I'm just going to give that a quick press while I'm here. Been very good tonight, doing all my pressing in between. Make sure all my seams are open. Lovely. Lovely. So what you could do if you want to make that top of your pin cushion a bit stronger, with your pins keep going in, you could make almost like a little lining. So you could get a piece of fabric like this, another scrap of something, cut that out the same size as your square, just sew it all the way round, and then that just gives another bit of fabric inside the top that the pins are going to go into. It just will make it last a bit longer, because obviously I've used thin cottons there, and in time the pins are going to make quite big holes. So I'll show you what I mean. I'll do it here. This isn't really the sort of scrap I want to use for this, but while I'm on with you, I just suddenly thought that would make it last a bit longer. So I've just put my patchwork square on the top of my scrap and I'm cutting round that. So to the same size. Okay, so I've got my scrap and I've cut it the same size as my patchwork square. And I'm going to lay that scrap on the back, the reverse of my now patchwork. So there's my patchwork and I'm just going to lay the scrap on the back. And I'm just going to pin that so it holds it where I want it to be on the back of that scrap. So just pop a few pins in it to hold it in place. What you could do at this point if you wanted to, just sort of add a bit of keep it in place, is you could maybe re-sew down a couple of these seams, top stitch down them, and it would just hold it all together if you wanted to. I'm not going to bother, but you can do that. So there's my patchwork square. I've got a few pins in there to hold the two layers together, and that's my scrap. I mean, that's not really scrap that I've cut to go on the back to give it a bit of extra strength. And then I'm going to put my circle face down onto there, so right side's facing in the middle there. So what you want to try and do is get the centre point of your patchwork to the centre of your circle. So if you fold your circle in half again the wrong way, so there's my seam down the middle there, so I want to fold it in half like so I can see the gap of my seam at the top there, so I can see where the centre is, and then I can lay that right across the middle of my patchwork square like so. I can see where the centre is to line it up, and then I can just hold that underneath bit, open it up, and that's exactly then in the middle for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move these pins now to the outside and hold all those layers together. Trying to keep that central as I can. There we go. Not that you're going to particularly see that on the bottom, but it's just quite nice to take a bit of time and attention. Even on little projects like this, it sort of preps you for making bigger things if you take your time. Let's see who else we've got. Hello, Sophie. Oh, there's a few more comments. Let's have a quick look and see what people are saying. Leslie, I've got my mum a subscription for Sewing Mags. Oh, that's amazing. I love that. I love a magazine subscription. It just like gives all we hear, doesn't it? It's just fun. I love having stuff like that coming through the post. Yeah, I'm sure she'll share it, Leslie. I'm sure she will. Surely. She might take all her best patterns out, maybe. So now I've got my patchwork piece here, my scrap on the back, that doesn't matter which way around it is, and then my circle face down on there, so right side's facing in the middle of my square there. And now what we're going to do is just sew all the way around our circle. Easy as that. Try to keep it nice and round still, of course. So I'm just going to follow around 1 centimetre or around the edge of my foot here, around the edge of my circle against the edge of my foot. Remember to do your little back stitch when you start and finish, so your stitch doesn't unpick. All the way around. So what you could do if you want to be able to hang your pincushion up maybe, so maybe when you're not using your pincushion, you might want to have a little handle on it to hang it somewhere. You could just make that at this point, maybe a bit of ribbon you could just tuck inside, and as you sew round, catch it in there. Wanted to do that, or you could add a little bit longer ribbon, and some people have like their little pair of snippers sort of attached to their pincushion, so they're little thread snippers, they're little embroidery scissors, so they don't lose them attached. You could do that also. I'm just going to take some of these pins out. So you don't need to leave a gap here. We've got the gap in the middle of our pincushion. So you just go all the way round until you meet where you started. Ooh, and now my bobbin's going to run out. That's good, isn't it? Let's see if I've got a spare of a neutral colour. Yeah. Okay. Tip perfectly. Look at that. Caught it now. Just going to change my bobbin right at the end. Almost finished. Oh no, there is still a bit in there. Change it. Sewer's worst nightmare. Always happens right at the end as well, when you're just about going to do it. Just about to finish. So top tip if you're new to sewing, it's worth having a few bobbins pre-filled ready to go in your neutral colours. So a few white ones for instance, so that if your bobbin runs out while you're sewing, you don't have to stop. Even though it doesn't really take very long, it's still just annoying. So if you've got a spare bobbin ready to go, it just makes the whole scenario feel much easier to bear. So yes, that's a top tip if you're new to sewing. Have a few bobbins ready to go. Keep a few pre-filled in your favourite colours. You know, and 2 and 3 white ones full up ready to change. Right, where was I? Let's finish this off. Literally have like 2 centimetres to go. There we go. Okay, so I've gone all the way around. I've done a big circle. So I've sewn all the way around on the inside of my circle here. I don't know if you can see that yet. There you go, look. I'm going to take my pins out and then I'm going to trim my pin cushion all the way around as well. So I'm just going to trim all this square bit off now. So it's the same size as my circle. Don't worry about cutting through your stitches because they're not going to unravel now because you've sewn around your circle. The patchwork stitches, I mean. There we go, all the way around. Now, because we've sewn in a circle, you might want to take some little snips out all the way around. It helps your circle lay a bit flatter when you turn it in the right way. So if you're sewing on a curve. So there we are, I've cut that out now. So that's now a circle shape. Oh, chuck it on the floor. Oh, but lots of you watching today. Who else have we got? Your machine sounds really solid and lovely. I don't know, it's really noisy, Carrie, I think. In fact, I took it in the house in December because I was so busy sewing in the evenings and in the day. I used to get a bit lonely being here all day and all evening, so I took it in the house a couple of times. And my husband was like, oh, for goodness sake, it's really noisy. I was like, don't be rude, I'm on my own. But yeah, no, I guess it is solid. Yes, that's maybe what it is. I'll say it's solid. Well done. You love the colour. I know it's much brighter, Leslie, than I thought. I thought it was a paler teal than this. And then when I got it out the box, when I opened the box, I was like, wow, it's bright. So it's different, isn't it? So I'm just snipping round now, just around the edge, just some little snips to help it turn in the right way, a bit easier. This is where you want the nice little pair of embroidery scissors to snip around, which I've lost mine. I don't know where they are. So if anyone's sort of found a little pair of spotty embroidery scissors in their sewing kits, they're like, oh, they're nice. It might be mine. I've lost them. I have no idea where I've put them. They're normally hanging in my thread catcher here, but I can't find them. So yeah, if anyone's picked them up, bring them back. I love them. Who else have we got? Let's have a look. Hello, Siobhan. Thank you. Yeah, it's bright. Okay, so I'm almost all the way around. These scissors need to sharpen. And then what you want to do is turn your pin cushion in the right way. So through your little gap in the middle. 2.5 inches, I said leave. 2.5 inches. And look how much I left. Never do that. Always mark it, make the right gap, because otherwise you know what's going to happen. I always do this on live video when I use rice. It goes everywhere. I know, I never learn. So mark your gap, 2.5 inches, so you've got plenty of room to turn it in the right way and fill it with rice. So turning this all in the right way now, as best as I can, through a tiny little gap that I've left myself. And normally what I do is just run my finger all the way around the edge to push the edges out. Look how pretty that is. That's so cute. I love it. And then I'm going to fill it with whatever you want to use as a pin cushion. So I've got that nice thick lining now, which is going to be on the top. So that's just going to give a bit more, it's just going to make sure that that cotton fabric doesn't get big holes from the pins in too quickly. It's going to make it a bit stronger for you and last a bit longer. Let's cut that little thread off. You can also put a lovely button in the middle if you wanted to, all the way through to pull it in. So let's fill it up. You could give it a press now if you wanted to. I'm just using rice in mine and a little bit of stuffing. I tend to use rice in most things that I want to keep weighted. I'm going to move my sewing machine out of the way because last time I got rice in my sewing machine, which is not advised. So let's move him over there. Let's get my rice. So here we go. Let's try and do this through the little gap that I've left myself. Right, I'm going to make myself a funnel if I can. Could do with another pair of hands at this point. Yes, I need a funnel, that's right. I do, Carrie. I need a funnel. Every time I do this, I say I need a funnel, and I haven't got one yet. Let me see, is there anything else I can use? No, of course not. Let's make one out of my template. Let's get some washi tape or something, some sellotape. Make myself a funnel. Honestly. Ooh. Okay. Make myself a funnel. Put the funnel in. Fill it with rice. This is going to go terribly wrong now, people. You look nervous. I am nervous because last time, Anna, I got it all in my sewing machine, honestly. Right, hang on. I need an extra pair of hands. Right, pouring the rice in. Oh, this is going to go wrong. This stage, it might be worth getting a helper, I would suggest, maybe. Now my rice is not coming out my hole in my funnel. Honestly. So if you're new to social sewing, this is pretty much what the live sewing is like. Me telling you to do one thing, ignoring my own advice and doing my own thing, and then it doesn't work. So always follow the advice I give you. That comes out of my mouth and not what actually I'm doing. Right, made the hole bigger. That's a bit better. I might have to give my sewing room another spring clean after this. So you want to put quite a bit of rice in there because it's quite nice to have a nice weighted pin cushion so it's not flying around everywhere. This could take some time. Maybe go put the kettle on. Come back in 5 minutes. Woo! So when's the sewing bee starting? Does anyone know when it is? I keep seeing little snippets of it. People saying the sewing bee's coming back and then there's no date or anything. When's it starting? Does anyone know? Let me know. Otherwise I'll miss it and then I'll have to watch on catch up and all you guys will be telling me who's won. It's very annoying. I wish they'd just tell you when it started. So, can anyone guess what my A for the A to Z of sewing is going to be tomorrow? I wonder if anyone can guess what it's going to be. It's actually quite hard to think of things. Hello, Adele! To go from A to Z. So there might be a few rogue ones in there for ones I couldn't think of. So far, so good. They filmed it, but no date. I'm sure I read it's in the springtime. Okay, Anna. I'll take your word for that. Please update me when you get the date, as I'll miss it. Getting there, getting there. More rice, more rice. It's surprising how much rice these little things take. I'm going to put a bit of stuffing in here as well. So these would also be great for little fabric weights. You could, because I'm filling this with rice, kind of, you could use these for fabric weights as well. If you made some more, maybe made them a bit smaller, similar sort of thing. And let's have a look. What else have we got? They've just said early 2019. There's some speculation that it's January. Filming this summer. Oh, God. Nobody knows then. They're keeping us in suspense. Right, I think I'm done with my rice because it's everywhere already. Oh, there it goes. So I'm going to put some stuffing in now, just a little bit in the top to pad it out, and because my rice has gone everywhere. And then I'm going to hand stitch that little hole up. So that's what I'm grateful I've only left a little gap, because I haven't got so much to hand sew, but not so much when I'm trying to get the rice in. There we are. So put some stuffing in. What are we saying now? Joanne apron. Not sure what that comment is. What do you mean, Joanne apron? Was I asking a question then? I can't remember what I said now. There. Look at that. Little beauty. So I need to close that hole up, and then it'd be really nice to get a lovely big button to put in the middle and sew right from the front to the back and pinch it in a little bit, and then you're going to have amazing, looks like a donut, looks like a patchwork donut pin cushion. Right, let's clear some of my rice up, and I'm going to sew the back up now, ladies, and we're pretty much there. So a little bit of hand sewing. Let's find my thread. Got some in here ready, already with thread on. Let's get one of these. So these are fab little makes, super easy. You can make it much quicker than I have tonight, because I've been gassing on to you guys. You could have these scattered around wherever you do your sewing. You could gift them out to people. I don't know if you ladies do, you know, make things to sell. You could take them to little craft fairs, for instance. They'd be fab little makes and nice and easy to do, and use up all your stash as well. So use up all those scraps, or some of those scraps that you've got lying around. So I'm just literally going to do a little ladder stitch here now to close it up, or a little over stitch to close that gap up. Nice and secure, because we don't want to lose our rice now we've got it in there. Let's have a look what Dale said. That looks so cute. You must make one, I'm sure you will. I'm sure you've got lots of scraps to use them with as well. But yes, super fun and easy to make. So hopefully, I'll show you the finished thing in a minute, but hopefully that's inspired you a little bit tonight to get your machine back out, make something nice and simple, you know, that won't take you too long, get you back into it, and then you can tackle your main projects that you've got in mind. It's always nice to have a little simple sewing project to sort of get you back into the swing of it. Or if you're just starting out, a perfect little project to start out with, because the patchwork takes you a bit of time to sort of get nice and neat. So, you know, it's something you can concentrate on, but isn't too tricky. There, and I'm just finishing this off now. Let me just see if I can find a button to put on here as well, just to finish it off while you're on live video. So I'm just going to put that thread back to the middle, and then see if I can bring that through to the centre of my pin cushion, and I'll put a button in there. So I've literally just sewn up the back, took the thread back to the middle and pushed my needle right through, and then I'm going to attach a button. Let me find one second. Let's have a look over here. Get the button selection. Hopefully I don't want a blue one, because the blue's at the bottom. We're not going to do that. I'm going to go for a yellow one. There we are. Nice big button, and I'm going to stitch that through, and hopefully I can pull it together a little bit without the thread breaking. You might want to stitch this on with embroidery thread even if you're going to pull it nice and tight, but I'll have a go. So you're going right through to the bottom again and pulling it a little bit. I don't want to break my thread, and then you want to try and get it back up through your buttonholes. If I can find it somewhere. There we go. Pull it tight. There we go. So do that a few times. Pull it as tight as you can without breaking your thread, and then you just want to finish it off at the back there as best you can, really. It's a bit tricky to finish your stitch off. Maybe give it a few knots, or bring it back to the top and finish it off around the top of the button. Actually is probably easier. If you bring it back to the top of your thread, once you've done it a few times, you can probably do it a few more times than I have. If you bring your thread back up, take it through your buttonhole and out the side, and then you can wrap it around your button, kind of. There he is. And then it's finished. How exciting is that? New little pin cushion. So if you come and visit me in the studio, I'll have him out with pins in, of course. If I can get my needle through here. So if you manage to, there you go, I've broken my thread. If you manage to bring your needle out, so your thread will be like underneath the top of your button, and then you can wrap your thread around your button, put your needle through and pull it to tie a knot underneath. There you go. One little donut pin cushion. Pop your pins in, like so. And that will keep them at hand. It's a really good size actually. So a cereal bowl is the perfect size for this little thing. And there you go. Ta-da! Thank you so much for watching. It's been lovely chatting with you all and having you sewing with me. And hopefully you enjoyed that, but have a go and post your pictures of your pin cushions on the page, because I want to see them. I love seeing what you're sewing, and hopefully that will start you back off on your sewing journey. That will get you motivated to get your machine back out. It will use some of your scraps up as well, so don't get rid of them all. Keep a few back, some of your favourites, and make yourself a little pin cushion, make some other people a pin cushion, and a great little weight as well. Definitely. Let's have a look what everyone said. Love it, love it, love it. Really cute. Thank you. Oh, no problem. Lovely ladies. Thank you so much for joining me. I absolutely love doing my live sewing. And let me see your pin cushions or anything else you make at all. And what we're on A to Z of sewing tomorrow, so look out for that one. It's A. See what I'm going to tell you all about, and I can't wait to see your pin cushions really, really soon. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to let you get on with your evenings now. I've been here for an hour, and I will see you again soon. See you later. Bye.